I still remember that morning vividly, the moment when my entire world shattered. If someone had told me that a heart could break from just a few words, I would have never believed it until I witnessed the man I loved most walk out the door, leaving me and our newborn twins behind. Once believed that love could overcome any obstacle, that as long as we were together, nothing could tear us apart. But I was wrong. Love, it turns out, is not always strong enough to triumph over greed, ambition, and the manipulation of a woman who calls herself a mother. That was the day I realized that my children and I had never truly belonged in his world. I met Julian on in Texas, autumn afternoon when golden leaves covered the small streets of Boston. I was a graphic designer newly moved to the city in search of opportunities after graduating from college. As for him, Julian Thorne, he was the heir to the Thorne Industries tech empire, a powerful family that owned software and development property stretching from Silicon Valley to Singapore. But I didn't know any of that when we first met by chance at a small cafe on the side of the street. Back then, Julian was just a charming guy with a warm smile and bright hazel eyes that sparkled. When he looked at me, not a man carrying the weight of an entire dynasty on his shoulders. We fell in love quickly, the way young couples often do when they are filled with passion and hope. Julian wasn't like other wealthy men. He never flaunted. His money never acted distant or arrogant. Instead, he was kind, gentle, and made me feel like I was the only person in his world. Those first months together were the happiest time of my life. I loved him with all my heart, never realizing that love alone wouldn't be enough to withstand the crushing weight of the Thorne name and its legacy. When I became pregnant, Julian was overjoyed. He held me in his arms and promised to protect me and our child forever. But love and promises were not strong enough to stand against his mother, Eleanor Thorne, a woman with piercing gray eyes and a heart of steel. I still remember the first time I met her, just a week after Julian found out I was pregnant. She invited us to a lavish party at the Thorne estate where crystal chandeliers, illuminated walls adorned with sculptures by famous artists. The moment I stepped inside, I knew I didn't belong there. The women in their extravagant evening gowns eyed me with scrutiny. The men, mostly business associates of the family, barely acknowledged my presence as they moved through the grand room filled with power and prestige. Eleanor Thorne sat at the center of the room, a glass of red wine in her hand.